Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M12, it's a tier 7 American SPG. It's located on the west spawn of Studzianki and it's under the command of Major MTP Cat 6. Now the skin that you can see it wearing was beautifully designed by Jazz, and she has designed many of the skins. In fact, all the skins you see there all came from Jazz. And don't they look fantastic? All got our logo on the side as well. Okay, game started. Now, as I said, it's an M12, which means it's got a 155mm howitzer with 700 alpha damage. And it looks like Major MTP is going to take up a position somewhere just slightly to the north of these houses. Okay, well, he's lining himself up. And he's now looking for a target. First things first, he's going to try a shot at those heavies making their way towards the power plant. I say some people call them power plants, some call it the factories. But he fired around at that KV2 and unfortunately he was unsighted at the time, so we don't know if he hit him. But the reload time is 23.37 seconds, which is about average for a tier 7 Arty. It's the same for the GW Panther. Okay, he's loaded and he's just waiting for sign of the enemy tank that's just the other side of that hill. I believe it's the Setter, which is one of those new British light tanks. The moment our guys get sight of him, Major MTP will put a round in. Yes, nobody's bothering to go over and have a look. It's not very efficient. If you can't get sight of the enemy, you can't shoot at anything, can't do any damage. Well, he had a minor adjustment there which got a reticule bloom, but he's going for the Hellcat and a direct hit on the rear of the vehicle for 328 hit points, and he was taken down a moment later by the AMD 178B, so that was useful. There's also that Setter there. There he is. We're still reloading, but only a few more seconds to go, and we're dialed in already, so it's just a matter of pressing the trigger as soon as we're set. Okay, rounds out. Oh, he's going to be behind the Setter. He was stunned already. It does appear that most of the enemy's forces do seem to be in the south, and unfortunately we lost a few tanks down there, which means now that the enemy does have control of the centre and the bottom of the map. So it looks like the Hellcat is the first person who's going to be telling us if the enemy have arrived in grid square J3. EBR's going down the tip. Very dangerous because he might spot them and they might retaliate. Oh, he turned around and came back again. Not so sure he was too happy there. And oh, he's been taken out. The enemy M12 got him. Not sure why Major MTP is aiming at this spot at the moment. I think he believes that one of the enemy Arty might be over in that corner. It's possible. It is one of the known firing positions. But we have got a couple of targets we can shoot at just the other side of that hill. T21 and that Setter. And he looks like he's... Well, he was trying to get a bead on that T21 until we lost sight of him. And the enemy have turned up in the south now, and it's a Churchill 7. Hellcat spotted them. So Major MTP is going to move into position so we can actually get shots on those ones. Hopefully our teammates will take note and do the same. Dialing in. Almost ready. Ready. Rounds out. Oh, taken out immediately afterwards by the Hellcat. Okay, waiting for the reload to complete. Supposedly there's a Leo down there as well. And there might be a Poodle, but we don't know for sure. And the enemy is now moving across the round the back of the factories, so Major MTP can probably get a shot on that KV-2. Oh, no, building in the way. If he'd shot, he probably would have damaged himself. And the KV-2R has been taken out. And a Poodle has turned up in the south and is now attacking our Hellcat along with another enemy tank. A Leo, yep, it was both the ones I mentioned earlier. And we've lost the Hellcat. Trying to get a shot on that Poodle. Poodle's down. We can still see the Leo. Rounds out. It hits the aim point. I think it probably would have damaged the Leo, but Major MTP is probably going to have to move and get to a position so he doesn't get attacked and killed by that Leo. It's very slow to turn. It's this Arty's built on the hull of the M3 Lee. And they were built in 1942, 1943. They built 60 of them to start with, and then another 40 the following year. I think it may have been the other way around, 40 to start with and then 60 the following year. But they only built 100, and quite a few of them saw service in the European theatre of war. So they were used in Europe quite extensively, even on D-Day. Okay, moving into a position so that we can attack those enemy tanks the moment they get near our cap. We are one tank up on the enemy at the moment, one kill up on the enemy. But they do have virtually the entire south end of the map. And, oh, we've got a target we can shoot at, which is an Su-100Y, the box tank. Famous for its box-like casement. And of course the fact that it has that big 13cm gun. In fact, actually it's a naval gun, that one. Well, he did get a big hit on him. Going for an IKV-65 too. Nice. Almost loaded. If he stays there, he's indicated target, that's good. Oh, and he just fires just as the target's wiped out by our N44. Who's a little quicker on the draw. Going for that box tank again. We've marked the spot. Still a few seconds to go. Loaded. Rounds out straight away. Not sure if that hit target, but we'll have to see in a short while if that box tank becomes visible again. Our GW Panther has actually moved up to the hill, which is very surprising. It's not a very safe place to go for an Arty, but I have seen a few Arty go up there because it's the last place anybody would look for one. Now, if he can get eyes on that Su-100Y, then the rest of us can shoot at him. Unfortunately, we just lost our KV-2 to that M12. And there's the Leo. And he's lost a lot of hit points, so he must have been hit the previous time. We're lining up a shot. Almost ready to go. Rounds out. This should be a kill shot. Oh, it fell short. That's so annoying. Oh, but the next shot did hit the target, and that was from the Hummel. And he's gone. So he's back in the garage. It's now 3 Artys and a tank destroyer versus 3 Artys and a light tank. The box tank apparently was taken out. Now their light tanks, that T-21, our tank destroyers, the ARL V-39. Now if you don't know the ARL V-39, it's a lozenge-shaped tank destroyer that the French came up with. Now depending on which gun it's got, if it's got the top gun, it's actually quite easy at one-shotting enemies. But we haven't been able to see that T-21 yet. Okay, our friendly Artys are targeting the areas near the ARL to tell him that they are covering him. No, box tank's gone, so you don't need to aim there. One of the Artys might be up in this corner. it would be quite useful for the ARL to do a quick check. And he is going to look in that corner. He's heading in that direction. So if he is, I think there's going to be quite a few Arty shells coming in almost simultaneously if he spots someone. No, nothing spotted. GW Panther's moving in that direction. So he's going to take up a position in the corner. And he'll be behind their ARL firing southwards. There he is. Unfortunate thing about the ARL is that big carbuncle right on top of the hull. It's the commander's position. It's actually quite a weak spot. Oh, they found one of them. It's the S-51. Lining up a shot. Okay, dialing in. Let's make this count. Almost ready. Rounds out. And yes! Kill shot! So, first kill goes to... first kill for Major MTP in this game. Now we just need some more, please. Still an M44, an M12, and a T21 out there. And he's almost loaded. Okay, he's ready to go. And it's another trick that Arty uses to aim ahead of where your teammates are. So that when they first spot the target, you'll be dialed in on that target already. Now, a lot of people think, oh, when we cheat or something like that, we have some mod. No, it's just plain common sense. Your teammates are looking for a target, and if you look where they're looking, all of a sudden you'll see the target and get a shot. Nobody up there. Oh, we've now found the M21. We found the T21. He rammed us. And whilst whilst Major MTP was aiming at the enemy on the other side of the battlefield, the T21 just ran into us and died. And unfortunately, we're not seeing this because we're in the aim mode at this moment. We'll have to come out of aim mode very shortly. You'll see a dead wreck lined up outside his Arty. He did suffer some damage. Yes, they're all saying, wow, he just... Yep. The enemy tank just rammed him. And there's the M44. He's been spotted. Dialing in. Rounds out. And kill shot. So a third kill actually now for Major MTP. And there's the last one. The M12. He's underneath the bridge. We're lining up a shot, but we're a few seconds away from loading. In fact, we don't really have a shot at the moment because the shell would actually hit the bridge. So he's just trying to work out where he needs to put the shell in order to hit that M12. Okay, we've gone to Battle Assistant. We're going to fire underneath the bridge. And that would have helped the V39. Oh, it didn't stun the M12 or do any damage. But it looks like he's given up because he's... Oh, no, he's shotgunned the ARL. And now he's trying to hide behind our teammate to stop us shooting at him. We're loaded. Please don't fire. Wait until he's clear and then fire. Rounds out. And it splashes the M12. And he goes down the next second to the ARL. So we did help our teammate there. And there's the victory. Now let's have a look at this wreck. What actually happened? Oh, we didn't get to see it. I'm going to have to edit a bit and see that again. Well, this is the hilarious moment when Major MTP and his M12 was sitting in a bush, aiming at the enemy in the far southeast corner of the map, and he was rammed by the enemy T21. And we're showing, yes, he's just been rammed, and the MTP, the T21 just died by ramming him. Unfortunately, we don't see the wreck because it hasn't shown up on camera, but yes, he was rammed and the T21 just died. Apparently he'd suffered damage beforehand from one of the other Artys, and so he had very low hit points. And we're just waiting for the end of the match. We'll just speed it up just a little bit. And they found the M44. And there we can see Major MTP taking out the M44 at range. And they found the M12 as well. Or rather, the ARL V39's found him. Unfortunately, our teammate actually was stunned. Okay, we're aiming for that M12, trying to get a shot on him. And unfortunately, that round doesn't do anything to the M12. That's the 2-minute warning. And the ARL gets stunned by one of our teammates. Almost ready to shoot. The others are moving in. We fire around at the M12 and get a hit. And at that moment, the ARL fires and takes him out the game. There's the wreck. There's the wreck of the T21. He rammed into the side of the M12 and died in the process. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's a second-class tanker for Major MTP Cat 6 in the M12. He picked up a Rock Solid because, of course, he survived a ram by the enemy. And the SPG speed must be less than 10 kilometers an hour. Speed in the enemy vehicle that rammed him must be exceed the speed of the SPG, and of course it did, because he rammed into the side and died. We picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, there was 16 in that one, and a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on the team. And the win rate for that game was 2,543. So he said he did not even feel it. Well, he probably recognised at the end of the game exactly what had happened, but he didn't come out of camera at any time. And when we look at the damage at the end of the game, we can see he did score the highest damage in the game, 1,643 hit points of damage, and he picked up the Confederate, but he probably missed out on the high caliber, mainly because he may have actually damaged one of his own teammates with one of the shots. And of course, that is one of the reasons why you might miss out on a high caliber. I have noticed that with the rules, even though it's not stipulated in the rules, it does seem to occur, because other people have lost out on high calibers for similar reasons. And the next high scorer on the enemy team was their M12 with 1341, and after that it was our KV2 with 1136. When it came to kills, again, he had the highest number of kills, Major MTP. He got 3 kills out of that one. The rest had 2, 1 or 0. And when it came to base XP, he also had the highest, 939, 758 to the KV2 and 721 to the ARL V39. He fired 13 rounds in that game, got 3 direct hits, no penetration, 11 splash. Damage of 1,643 hit points, of which 1,570 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and did 128 hit points of damage assistance and 689 hit points of stun assist of 8 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 33,692 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 17,577 credits. He got 1 bomb for getting the Confederate, and 1,408 XP, plus 7,045 completing a mission, so he took away 8,453 altogether. So quite a funny circumstance to actually get rammed by the enemy, and not even feel it, and end up with an extra kill and an extra medal to boot. So well done there, Major MTP Cat 6. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel if you can please, and hit that notification button. We do have interesting replays every day, and it'd be a shame if you miss one. Thanks for watching.